I just finished Alice in Borderland Season 2, and holy crap, do I love this show. I want to start off by saying that Alice in Borderland is way more gory and graphic than Squid Game, to the point where I would honestly call Squid Game family-friendly compared to this show. And if you've never heard of Alice in Borderland, I want to blame Netflix's marketing. Not only did this show come out a year before Squid Game, but it is infinitely better. I'm not saying Squid Game isn't good. It's just that this show might as well be produced by HBO or A24 because it is just so groundbreaking. Seriously, within 10 minutes of the first episode, you go from 0 to 100 like that. The show will quite literally rip your heart out of your chest, and that's exactly why you should watch it. The show follows Arisu and his friends when they're suddenly transported to a different world that's basically their hometown of Tokyo, but just empty. And in this empty parallel universe, they're forced to partake in death games to survive, similar to Squid Game. But the prize isn't 432 million yen or whatever it was in Squid Game. The prize is just getting to live, so it makes the stakes that much higher. Players have something called a visa where they're given a number of days to live in this parallel universe, but in order to get more days, they have to partake in these challenges and win. So it basically forces you to play the death games whether you like it or not. And again, don't get me wrong, I like the honeycomb game and the one that goes but the games in Alice in Borderland are just fucked up in the best way possible. Seriously, this show is not for the lighthearted. I mean, these games are so creative. Basically, each game is themed around a deck of cards with each suit representing a game type. They're ranked by difficulty from a scale of ace to king, with diamonds being games of intelligence, spades being games of strength, clubs are team games, and hearts are betrayal. And let me tell you, they betray. I've said this before, but what makes a show outstanding is unpredictability, and that's exactly what Alice in Borderland is. It honestly feels very hard to pull off the aspect of being unpredictable because it feels like every story has been told. And that's the thing about this show. No spoilers, but Alice in Borderland will for real kill one of its main characters in a moment's notice. You have no idea what to expect. It's not like Stranger Things or Squid Games where you know no matter what happens, the cast will live because they are the main characters. This show is the complete opposite. You genuinely go into an episode with the mindset of the main characters being invincible, so you're just like, oh, I wonder how they're gonna figure out this game. But then they don't figure it out and they end up dying, and you're just like, what? This show puts me more on the edge of my seat than Squid Game ever could, I have to say it. Because like I said, very early on you figure out that no one is safe and it is very possible for these characters to lose in the death challenges. And Season 2 of Alice in Borderland is no different. So much death and gore and outrageous games, and I just love it. The show introduces you to someone, you fall in love with them, and then they just die the most gruesome death ever. Like, it's so depressing, but I can't stop watching. I don't know what's happening. And I'm not kidding, by the time I got to episode 7 of Season 2, I was pausing it every 5 seconds. I was holding back tears, literal tears. I also love how the characters split up, complete their own challenges, and then reunite towards the end of the season. That's something that Stranger Things does, where the characters each have their own storyline, but end up intertwining. I honestly love when shows do that, especially when it's executed well. And the action sequences, chef's kiss to the choreographer and to the stunt people, because come on, they kill it. Normally, I think even Marvel action sequences can be pretty cringe, but in Alice in Borderland, it's like they're all trained in MMA, so good job, guys. The last episode ends up being a Queen of Hearts challenge, which is all about betrayal and doubt, and let me say, I felt like I was in the game. This episode contains one of the most shocking twists in television history, in my opinion. I could never tell what was reality because they take you down this rabbit hole only for the game master to say it was a lie, and that makes sense because this is a game of betrayal. I don't even know how to explain it. And the ending to this show is the wildest thing I have ever experienced. Every loose end is tied up, but it's somehow this terrifying mind f. Seriously, I got goosebumps everywhere, and honestly, not in a good way. It does leave the potential for Season 3, but from what I've read online, Season 2 is where Alice in Borderland ends because that's where the manga ends. All I'm saying is when it comes to a thriller genre TV series, it doesn't get better than this. This show is pure perfection, and honestly, it's one of the best things that Netflix has ever given us. Just keep on praying for Season 3.